Welcome to the Daily Spark for Monday. Hello, innovators. It's great to see you. I hope you had a great weekend. And it's raining here in Cadillac, Michigan, which is making it a super green summer. I am thrilled to have you join me today as we dive into a very crucial topic for any aspiring new business owner, innovator, or entrepreneur, startup, engineer, founder, even if you have a new idea for an existing business. The number one thing is to be prepared. Like they say, if you're a Boy Scout, or if you're a Girl Scout, you need to be prepared. Or Scar in The Lion King, he's saying about being prepared. Well, preparation is the key to success. And today we're going to explore 3 fundamental questions that you need to ask yourself. And every entrepreneur or aspiring innovator who is creating something new that they want to market and sell need to answer to ensure their venture is on the right path. And that's what we're here for at the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Academy, to make sure that we guide you and help you out. Number 1, is there a market for your product or your business or service? Before you invest your precious time, your hard-earned money, or money that you've received from venture capital or investors, and other resources that you put into your idea, it is essential to validate that there really is a demand for what you're creating. I'm sure it's an amazing idea, but will people want the offering? And how do you find that out? How do you know? You don't put a finger up and see which the way the wind's blowing. This means conducting thorough market research. And it's not difficult, but you do need to think on paper. You need to prove it on paper, pencil it out with credible sources. Now, there are many credible sources that you can find on the internets that will help you figure this out. Look at industry reports. If you're in manufacturing, if you're in clothing and textiles, in entertainment, medical, there's a lot of competitive reports out there. Gartner and G2, there's many. Customer surveys. How happy are customers in the particular market you're going into? And what are the trends in your market? The goal is to gather data that confirms there are people out there that need and want your product or service. And I'm sure that you're probably aware that you think it's a great idea. Maybe your family thinks it's a great idea, and I'm sure it is. But let's just what they say is validate, trust, but validate. Number 2, is your market large enough? Well, that's what's so great about the internet, because if you sell your product on the internet, you've got the world at your doorstep. Is it large enough? Though, once you've identified that there is a market, the next step is to determine the size of the market. Well, on the internet, what can limit you? Your culture, your language, your demographic. Figure out the market that you're actually going to be attracting. Is it too small? And can it sustain your business or your goal to grow your business? Are you able to provide the breadth and depth to your idea to really grow and to do that? So again, use data. Estimate the potential customer and the base, and then the revenue. So let's say that, like I use the example of hospitals in the United States. There are 5,000 hospitals in the United States and about 200,000 doctors' offices. Would that be large enough to sell Wellness Connection electronic medical record? And what percentage of those clients do I think that I would be able to work with and sell to? And after that, did my business goals decided I wanted to go to other English speaking countries. So I'm giving you some examples of how you might start thinking along those lines, because that just means more opportunity for expansion and diversification. So you've got culture, you've got language, you've got geography. Is it big enough to sustain the ideas that you have to grow your business, or to start your business and then grow as you may want to in the future? Number 3, is your market concentrated enough? Finally, consider concentration. Back to my story, I used to work in the state of Michigan, and Michigan had about 90 hospitals at the time. And so I was able to really work within my own region. Then I went across the Great Lake region and then decided to go national. So I took kind of like baby steps. And then I found that because my clients were scattered across different regions, we used a lot of technology to support those clients across those different regions. You know, a concentrated market at the beginning makes it much more easier and more cost effective to support those clients. Again, technology makes this so easy and makes it so much more cost effective to really target and reach your audience, you know, with your marketing and with your sales efforts. But I will tell you, the more expensive your product is, the more face-to-face your clients will want to see you. They'll want to see you, let's say, that may be happy to see you on Zoom, probably prefer that. They don't want you coming. But understanding the geographical, demographic distribution and the culture of your market helps to plan efficient marketing, which is really key, especially in the beginning days of your marketing strategies, and optimizing your time, your resources, and how you can allocate those resources. So to bring these points to life, I have an example. Let's look at a real world story. I love stories. Who doesn't love a good story? Let's talk about it. So here's an example. Meet Sarah. She is an aspiring powerhouse. She's an aspiring entrepreneur who dreamed. She loved fashion, and she loved textiles, and she just loved the whole idea of creating new and different and sustainable clothing. So she decided she would create a sustainable clothing line. But before launching her business, she took these things into consideration. Sarah knew she had to do her own due diligence, and so she did. On paper, think on paper, and it did ensure her success. I'll give you a sneak peek. She was successful. Step 1, what did she do first? Is there a market for her product? Well, you think, yeah, everybody wears clothes, but sustainable clothing line. Sarah began researching. She started researching the fashion industry, which she had a passion for, and she really started focus on the growing trend. You know, there's trends in every industry, and there was a trend for sustainable and ethical fashion. You know, there's a lot going on in the world with sweatshops, and some people are not treated well in different countries where sweatshops make clothing. So she gathered data from industry reports showing increasing consumer demands for eco-friendly and people-friendly products that were made with the environment in mind and with human dignity in mind. She also conducted surveys and focus groups to get direct feedback. Now you can do social media for your focus groups now. Back in the day, focus groups were pretty expensive, but you can get direct feedback through focus groups on social media. These would be your potential customers, and whether it's Instagram, Facebook, where you might find your clients and customers. And she confirmed that there was a significant interest in her proposed product line. So there were a lot of people that cared about the environment and cared about human rights. So that was cool. Number two, is her market large enough? Are there enough people out there that care about sustainable and equitable clothing? Next, Sarah needed to really make sure that her market was large enough. Was this a big enough market to, I mean, it's going to take a lot of work to do what she's doing, and she wants to make sure that it'll pay off in the long run to sustain her business. So what did she do? She used marketing or market analysis tools to estimate the size of the market. How big is this market? Is it just in the United States? Is it something that I could go into other countries and market my product to? Is the size for an eco-friendly fashion market, was it really big enough? And discovering it was a multi-billion-dollar industry just made her so happy and confident. You can imagine she just became super confident because she knew that a multi-billion-dollar industry is definitely, there's room for new people to enter that market. She identified her target, and that was very important. She identified her target demographic, and they are environmentally conscious people. And, you know, so many more people are becoming more and more environmentally conscious, especially the millennials, God bless them, and the Generation Z consumers. We've calculated, she calculated that even capturing a small percentage of this demographic is huge, and would definitely sustain her launch of her business, as well as provide a growth opportunity for her to generate substantial revenue, which is so important. So step three, we remember what step three was? Is her market concentrated enough? Is it concentrated so she can reach them with enough consistency? And really, is the culture, is the geography, is it all concentrated enough to sustain this idea? So finally, Sarah examined the geographical distribution of her potential customers. So she looked at it more from a geographical point of view, and she found out that her target audience, you know, these people who are eco-friendly and really interested in the environment, were primarily concentrated in urban areas. So people who lived in the cities where they had high disposable income. So wow, what a win, you know, concentrated in the larger cities where they make more money. This insight allowed her to focus her marketing efforts, guess where? In those regions, those specific regions where she could reduce her costs by focusing on these folks and increasing her effectiveness of her marketing and of all of her marketing campaigns on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. She also identified key online platforms, like I just mentioned. Her key platform, I believe, was Instagram for that demographic. And there was, her audience was right there. They were active on those social media platforms, and they actually helped her spread the news, enabling targeted digital marketing strategies. And she was very, very proficient in how the ads worked on those different platforms. Therefore, she was very meticulous in answering these three questions, and things paid off for Sarah. So Sarah was well prepared to launch her business, and she did take the time to do that work. Now, sometimes you hear this as components of a business plan, and I wanted to make sure that we pulled it sort of out of the business plan because it's so important to give this time. Sometimes people feel that they can do a business plan overnight or over the weekend to give to an investor. These questions are so relevant that I wanted to kind of pull them out of that template and give it some special time. Because let's go back to Sarah, within the first year of her business, she not only broke even getting back to Sarah, but she also garnered a loyal customer base because they have the same values that Sarah has. And she also received significant media attention because this is such an important to so many people, and that being eco-friendly and human rights friendly. So Sarah's story really highlights the importance of being prepared and the whole area of preparation, and really doing your due diligence and being prepared is so important. And those are just the 3 questions you have to answer. And then you can achieve entrepreneurial and innovation success by understanding the market dynamics. And that's really what this is about. What are the dynamics in your industry? What are the dynamics in the market you're entering in? And then you plan accordingly. You really plan things out. You can set your venture really on a very strong path. People say taking risk is important in the area of entrepreneurship and innovation, but really what you want to do is mitigate your risk. You will be taking risk, but mitigate it by doing the due diligence on these 3 questions. Thank you for tuning in to today's Daily Spark. Hey, stay motivated, stay informed, and keep innovating, you innovators. And until tomorrow, or that'll be next time, innovators, I'll see you later. Have a great day. See you on Tuesday.